You will find the link to beginner blockchain lessons list in the description and pinned in comments below. You can earn crypto while you sleep, but most people lose their money because they never learned this one simple rule. Today I will show 3 realistic ways to earn income in decentralized finance, which ones are dangerous and which ones compound like rocket fuel. I will reveal the small mistakes that wipe out earnings overnight. Stay to the end and I will give you a simple checklist that protects your money and makes those yields real. If you want clear, no fluff crypto lessons, subscribe now. I post step by step explainers and safety checklists so you do not lose money learning the hard way. Hit the bell and let us dive in. Most beginners think decentralized finance income is just chasing get rich quick yields. That is wrong. Decentralized finance is a toolbox. DEFI stands for decentralized finance. It is financial services that run on code rather than banks. Income in decentralized finance comes from three big buckets: interest, rewards, and trading gains. Interest is earned by lending your crypto to others. Rewards come from staking or providing liquidity and receiving tokens or fees. Trading gains come from active strategies like capital rotation and rebalancing. Think of interest like renting out a car. You get rent, but if the garage burns down, the car is gone. Not all yields are real. Some advertised APYs are illusions. Read the fine print. Greed pushes people toward shiny APYs. Fear shows up when a protocol freezes withdrawals. Next, I will show how to tell real yield from fake yield without being a developer. Lending can feel safe until the protocol freezes withdrawals. Platforms like Aave and Compound let you deposit assets and earn interest. Think of lending as renting your crypto to borrowers. Choose your assets carefully. Stablecoins are less volatile. Native tokens often offer higher rates. Always check TVL, which means total value locked, as a measure of trust and liquidity. Check a protocol's audit history and the transparency of its team. Many platforms do not insure your user funds. Insurance, when available, usually costs extra. If you see frozen withdrawals, panic often follows. You can avoid that panic with two simple safety checks. First, check the audit history and the reputation of the team. Second, verify withdrawal terms and liquidity depth. Next, we explore a a higher yield option that often hides its biggest risk, called impermanent loss. Providing liquidity can double your APY, but you might lose more than you earn. When you provide liquidity, you lock two tokens into a pool so traders can swap between them. You earn fees and sometimes token rewards. Impermanent loss happens when the price of one token moves a lot compared to the other. If one token runs up or crashes, the value of your deposited mix can be worse than simply holding one token. Imagine an ETH USDC pool versus just holding ETH. If ETH jumps 50%, the pool's balance shifts and your total value can lag holding ETH alone. The highest APY pools often carry the worst impermanent loss. Many APYs include freshly minted tokens that can crash 90% more or more. A 200% APY can evaporate quickly if the reward token collapses. Use stable pools to minimize impermanent loss or actively rebalance your exposure to reduce risk. Next, I will show staking, which sounds simple but hides important subtleties. Staking sounds safe, but two big things can erase your rewards overnight. Staking means locking tokens to help secure a network and earn rewards. You are effectively lending your voting power to the network and getting paid. There is locked staking and liquid staking. Liquid staking gives you a token you can trade while your original is staked. Slashing is a penalty for validator misbehavior or downtime. Validators can make mistakes or act badly, which impacts your staked balance. Some validators have been greedy and misallocated or stolen rewards. Pick validators with a strong uptime record and fair commissions. Check slashing history and community reputation. Consider liquid staking if you need flexibility and access to your capital. Next, we will look at active strategies that use capital rotation and rebalancing to capture steady returns. Smart investors rotate capital, they don't just hodl. Capital rotation means moving funds between assets or strategies to capture opportunities and reduce risk. Rebalancing means selling winners and buying losers to keep target allocations. An example allocation could be 60% in blue chip assets, 20% staking, and 20% in high yield liquidity pools. Rebalance monthly or during volatility windows based on rules you set. Here is a quick story. An investor who rebalanced before a dump preserved 40% more capital than a friend who held through the crash. Greed can amplify returns through rotation, but timing matters. If you wait for a perfect top, you will likely miss safe exits. Create predefined thresholds for rebalancing and stick to them. Use stop losses sparingly and prefer rules over emotion. Track your capital rotation with a spreadsheet or a portfolio tool. Next, I will expose the most common mistake that destroys beginner portfolios. Most beginners do not lose to hacks, they lose to poor compounding and bad timing. The hidden killer is bad capital allocation. You might be earning 20% APY, but fees, taxes, and liquidity can turn that into a net loss. For example, a high APY liquidity pool may reward in a token that loses half its value in a month. Your gross APY can disappear when the reward token crashes. Gross APY does not equal net return. A shocking statistic: 60% of new DEFI users lose capital in their first year due to allocation mistakes. Safety is not just about audits and code, it is about where your capital sits and how you compound. Now, I will give you a checklist you can use before you move a single coin. Here is the checklist that makes yields reliable. Step 1: define your goals. Are you after income, growth, or speculation? Step 2: set a risk budget. How much capital can you afford to lose? Step 3: diversify across income buckets: stable, lending, staking, conservative, LPs, and a small high yield play. Step 4: check protocol, health audits, TVL, and insurance if available. Step 5: choose instruments based on time frame and liquidity needs. Step 6: create a rebalancing plan and exit trigger. Step 7: record everything in a trade journal and review monthly. A sample allocation for a cautious beginner could be 50% stable lending, 25% staking, 15% stable LP, and 10% high yield experimental. Automate rebalancing where possible to remove emotion. With a checklist, you will sleep better and compounding will work for you. Set up your first allocation this week. Next, I will share the single mindset shift that ties everything together and turns small yields into long term freedom. There is one mindset shift that makes all the strategies above work together. Stop chasing the highest APY. Start optimizing for sustainable net returns and compounding. Think in time frames. Small, consistent returns, compounded and protected, beat sporadic moonshots. A creator I worked with replaced 70% of risky plays with a checklist and a simple allocation. A year later, they had steady passive income and no drama. The growth curve of steady returns look boring, but it beats the roller coaster of moonshots. Final surprise: sometimes your best yields come from combining low risk staking with periodic capital rotation. You can build income in crypto without sleepless nights. Protect your capital while you learn and compound. If this helped you, subscribe now for weekly practical crypto guides and checklists. Join a community of learners who choose steady wins over risky bets. Hit subscribe and ring the bell. Next, we will dig into token mechanics that actually influence yield. Before you invest in any coin, watch the next video on token burns and supply reduction. It could save you from one of the biggest beginner mistakes in crypto. Click the link on the screen now. Which DEFI bucket are you already using? Interest, rewards, or trading? Comment below. If you could automate one thing from the checklist, what would it be? Tell me below. If this saved you from a risky play before, share that story and I will read the best ones in the next video.